That's right. Me head munchers is back, man. You know what I mean, jelly bean?
It's time for supper.
This side of the Mississippi, you little hippie. Over here, I gotta gold chains. You know what we doing, man? I threw some sugar in there. Making it snow with sugar. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Don't eat your boogers, Billie Jean. On the wiener.
Wow. Absolutely brilliant.
Is the almighty deadlift. You all should be doing it, but you should be doing it right. Pay very close attention to the small intricacies. His back is really, really flat. Most important thing here is a really flat back so your chest is up. I don't want any rounding in your back. Good, hips stay back, shoulders roll back. Awesome. Good, notice the tempo. Really control.
So you're... Of course.
Whoa, whoa. Are you serious? Are you trying that again? Micro penis. I never thought I would make a video on this subject for various reasons. Number one, I didn't think many people were interested in it anymore.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Why I'm making this video is specifically because various reasons. Number one, specifically because in the last video I made, which was about erectile quality, which in the PE community,
Physical exercise.
we call EQ.
Equipoise.
I made a video about EQ,
Equipoise.
and a lot of people responded mentioning the bath meat, and then I realized there's still a lot of misinformation in this world. Various reasons. Number one, I didn't think many people were interested. Why I'm making this video is specifically because there is still a lot of misinformation in this world. This video is about the subject of enhancement or penis enlargement. PE has been going on for at least since the 60s, maybe the 70s. The way it originally started was with something called the
Industrial Society and its Future.
In the weeks that followed, Henry endeavored to impart a lifetime of vampire hunting secrets.
I happen to have a lot of expertise on this subject. I assume I probably know as much about the subject as anyone on earth, as I was a member of the largest forum on the subject, which was called Thunder's Place, for a number of years. I tried every single experiment that I ever came across.
Corey, police calling this an accident, but how did it happen?
The police tell me the man had the tucked into his pants. When it fired, it hit him squarely where it hurt the most.
But I'm doing this for my subscribers, to save you guys some time that I wish I could have been saved. Not everyone interested in enlargement has a small. In fact, most of the people that I came across on Thunder's Place, because the sizes are always discussed because people are constantly measuring themselves, and you know, it's just like if you're weightlifting, you're measuring your weights, your biceps, so on. Most of the people didn't start off, you know, most people that are interested in bodybuilding or interested in improving their brains, improving their lives, want to improve everything about themselves. And there were some very famous members there.
Okay.
For example, one that most people know is Bib, B-I-B. Another one, forgetting the guy who never left his house, claiming to gain 5 inches of length or something like that. It was Big Bertha, who used to post a lot for a couple of years. There were two kinds of people there. There were con men who were making money, and there were people with psychological problems who wanted to develop respect in a virtual online community by lying about their progress. On Thunder's Place, I know it's weird as a guy, you know, if you're a heterosexual guy, you don't really want to see other people's but people used to post pictures to show how to do certain things and stuff like that.
If you're new to Bathmate, you heard it here first. One of the best parts about it is putting it on.
Are you winning, son?
So say the base of your, like, say your coming out from here, and there's a base. There's a tendon connecting it here. Depending on how tightly your is actually connected, you may be able to stretch it out more than somebody else. Also change the angle that your points at with the use of weights, which you can use while erect.
This may involve directly painful activity.
We were using cable clamps to clamp the bottom of the while erect in order, number one, to stretch the vascular structure. Some of us were doing this for like 20 minutes straight. The worst element of it was that it caused major discoloration of the penis.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Necrosis is a process of cellular death, which occurs when cells are exposed to extreme conditions, which are very different from normal living conditions.
Major
this leads to damage to the internal cellular environment.
So this really impresses women. It's a great party trick. So a lot of former PE people have discolored. Some of them like it because just like bodybuilders go on stage, they put on dark tans. It makes you more visible. So a lot of us were hanging for hours and hours and hours a day because of Bib. He said he used to hang for 11 hours. They use Bib's hanger. There's probably another hanger. You have to be careful that the hanger doesn't cause a blood vessel, doesn't prevent the end of your penis from being able to receive blood.
Tickle torture.
And you sit in a way in which you're pointing your legs a bit upward. What Bib used to do is do this on his table. So you put his legs on his table so that basically in between your legs, your goes as opposite the direction of that connective tissue as possible. The way he used to describe it is basically putting it almost between his butt cheeks. So his pelvis was almost facing up and his skin is almost the opposite direction. That's the best angle. Just weights high enough, not 50, 60 pounds like many of us started doing, or 100.
You think that's bad? Remember when I
stole somebody else's artwork and used it as my own logo?
All right, so today we're gonna go over deadlifts because I wanna show you how to take an exercise, which is predominantly that entire posterior chain, and move the emphasis towards your entire back. Last thing is I'm going barefoot. Now, if you're somebody who uses lifting shoes, you like them, great. Personally, I've just never used them. I've always liked the way my feet feel on the floor, the pressure, how I can feel it shifting underneath me, and even the grip of my toes. So if you can't afford them, you don't have them, I don't really think you need them. Now, I used to wear a belt back in the day all the time. Now I don't wear one at all. And I think you're fine if you don't go below 6 reps.
He has 5 repetitions.
I don't wear one at all. I think you're fine and your form's tight, even below that, as long as your form's good, because I used to wear one for years, but the problem is, I caught myself actually pushing against the belt instead of keeping my abs tight.
Dude, what the fuck?
You need to learn how to breathe before using a lifting belt. You need to focus on breathing down into your belly.
But the problem is,
do not breathe up into your chest.
Keep the core
tight. Your
tight.
belly should expand full of air, and this will push your stomach out. Place a plate on your stomach. Now take a big breath into your stomach and try to raise the plate towards the ceiling.
Right, so I ended up distending myself, pushing those abs out, and actually, cutting off circulation. You'd see, I'm sure you've had this before if you wear a belt, little cuts all over from the actual belt and the pinching of it. And then I'd have like an upset stomach the rest of the day just because I was pushing so hard against it. It wasn't keeping my core tight. So once I, ditched the ego, ditch the belt, I feel like now, even with that 6 reps, I can keep the core tight, I can focus on my breathing, and pull that weight up, not a problem. But the problem is, I ended up distending myself, pushing those abs out.
You need to learn how to breathe before using a lifting belt.